Well, good evening, good morning. Well, excuse me for the rough look. I've not been long out of bed. Welcome to Simon's living room, Simon and NoChaNoMa. Slightly different angle to my living room here. It's occurring. It's been nearly almost a year, since their previous appearance. But things have come together, and with the exception of COBRAT's computer, things are going to be quite smooth, hopefully. Some of you may be wondering, hello Rory, hello JVlog, hello Peppo, hello Bob, and any other viewers who are not in comments. Some of you may be wondering what I'm talking about. But what I'm talking about is the Mod Squad. And now, who are the Mod Squad? They're moderators from California who appear regularly in comments as moderators on some of our favorite YouTubers' live streams, and they have appeared here before live in my living room, and are now going to suddenly reappear again. So I'll give a nice big welcome to the Mod Squad. Morning, guys.
Good morning.
Morning. Hi.
Well, good morning to you. Good evening to us.
Yes.
Hello, everyone in chat.
So, in the top, at the middle there, is the new mystery Mod Squadder. Nancy. Hello, Nancy.
Hello, everyone, and hello, Simon.
So I will be shortly giving Nancy the third degree so that you all know everything you need to know about her and her blood group and national insurance number and things. And and next to her is somebody you may know if you watch the previous show. It's Mindy's mom.
Hello. I see everyone in chat. Thanks for being here. And I see Shinichi here. Thank you, brother.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Shinichi. Hey. Yeah,
My
nice to see you.
niece is here.
Oh yes, you were just there. That's why. Yes, these are moderators from Tabby Eats, by the way, so that I've got in the showroom here. So, and who else have we got? We got there underneath Mindy's mom. We've got KnightridersGal. Hey.
Hi guys, it's good to see you. Thank you for coming, JVlog and Sunichi. Really appreciate it.
So, as you saw from the advert, KnightridersGal had her hardcore guys, so who like 12 shots. I've just had one shot, so I may be disappearing at a certain point to get another shot of caffeine, and in incognito in the corner there. I just pulled my microphone. Yeah, incognito in the corner. It's COBRAT. Hey.
Yay. And in your honor, Simon, I got a sake jello shot in a can.
Oh wow!
I did see
jealous.
sparkling sake finally. I didn't get any yet though, but I got the jello shot.
Oh, is that the frozen one? Is that the sort of where you have to?
No.
Oh no!
No, you just open it and like suck it out of the can.
Lovely, it's very delicate. Yes. I don't know quite how to follow that, really. Perhaps, if you guys don't mind, dun, 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 that's what Mary does when something's about to happen. No, sorry, Mindy's mom.
Okay.
I may begin the show by putting Nancy briefly in the spotlight, which means if I do this, hang on. There we are.
No, big full screen.
Perhaps I should do. Hang on, can I do that? No. If I do that, no. If I do that, no. No, the only way to do it
It's full
is
screen.
full screen. I can't get myself on the screen. Hello, Stargen. That sounds rude. Yes, Bob. Yes, you know the show. This is Nancy, everybody. If you were to walk down the street in California and see this picture, it would be slightly strange, but it would be Nancy. Good evening, Nancy. Let's see, where are my questions, if I call them up for you? So Nancy has been a moderator, is a moderator with the Mod Squad and was with them previously, but this is the first time that she's been on this show. So first question really, Nancy, is do you live in the same area as the other Mod Squatters? Are you a SoCal lady too?
Yes. I will say that yes. I don't live exactly like right next door, but pretty much in the same area, a little bit south of where the rest of the ladies are. But yeah, it's in that general area. Yes.
So I should point out to the audience that the Mod Squad not only are a kind of a squad on various YouTube shows, but they also sort of know each other personally and hang out. So they're a team, and so you're a part of this. You do meet up socially, presumably with them.
Yes, I do. They're wonderful. So I miss them all the time.
Cool. So have you? Now this is something I asked Mindy's mom last show. Have you always lived? Were you born and raised SoCal? Have you always lived in the same place?
Oh no. Actually, if we go all the way kind of back to the beginning, I was actually born in Korea, South Korea, in Seoul, and my family actually immigrated to the U.S. when I was probably around 4, and took up residency in Maryland, in the U.S. In the state of Maryland.
Area. Yeah.
And then which is on the east coast of the US. For quite a while I grew up pretty much there, and then pretty much after growing up and spending many years there, my family wanted to move to Colorado, which is in the middle of
it's quite different.
The US. So I moved with them to the middle of the US. I always wanted to live in California since I was youngin. So moved with the family to Colorado, and then after a little time in Colorado, I moved out on my own to California.
So you sort of you couldn't persuade your parents to move there.
I'm the first one of my family to come over here. Hopefully not the last, though.
So this, my third question: what was life like growing up around there? So I'd have to ask, now since you wanted to move to California from a young age, you presumably had some kind of ideal or idea of the lifestyle in California, and did that meet up with your expectations, having lived in Maryland and Colorado? I mean, not to be
actually it
chauvinistic.
Has. It's mostly, obviously any place has its ups and downs, but I love the nature here, and of course the fact that it's the weather is really nice.
It's mostly hot and dry.
yes, pretty much.
Yeah.
Not enjoying any kind of snow for the most part, because I've put up with the snow for quite a few years.
Oh yes, Colorado. Yes, one of my sort of YouTube friends who used to be on my show. He's from there. That was always posting sort of pictures of his snow blower on.
Yes, it's pretty much snow country in the winter.
Yeah. So, I mean, growing up around Colorado and Maryland, it was not so. It was always dreams of California then, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, it's parts of Maryland as well as Colorado are just wonderful. It's just sort of missing something, you know. So I'm
There's
like,
nobody
I
from the
always
Colorado in
there's
the
something
audience,
missing.
hopefully. No.
Yeah, it was always. I mean, it's landlocked for me. I'm for Colorado. That was like, I kind of missed the water. So Maryland was nice. It's just snow during the winter, and then so I'm like, okay, I'm thinking California.
And in general, kind of the atmosphere, socially, I'm speaking. So is that sort of more? Is it true? Is it just more laid back in California?
Yes, it is laid back in California, but it's not. Some people think that it's like really like they are really lazy laid back, but it's absolutely not true. They just it's sort of like a front that they have. They let everybody think that it is like they're really literally lazy and all that, but actually they're pretty
intense.
Yes.
It's behind the scenes,
but
it's all a front.
Well, not all a front, but yes, it's more of they're not quite that laid back as most people think they are, basically.
Oh well. And in what category do you fit? Are you like sort of are you laid back? Is the mod squad laid back? You can all chip in here.
I am definitely the laid back person.
Yes.
But that's the Hawaii influence, isn't it? Really? Yeah.
True. Very true.
I'm basically laid back, but not now. I'm freaking out because I'm so technically challenged.
Sister, you're not the only one. Why do you think I'm not chatting? I can't even find where I can chat with everyone, so I'm just going to say hello.
I'm
on
just
the right
trying.
hand side of the screen, next to everybody's. Are you seeing the comments coming in from the audience?
I see the comments, but I'm not going to touch anything because
well,
for fear of disappearing.
Next to the comments, there's a little sort of banner with it says comments, banners, brand, private chat. So if you want to private chat, you click on that. If you just want to chat to this lot in the audience, hello, this lot,
or
just
you
leave
can
it
do
on
it,
comments.
Or you can do it the easy way and just be like me and have 2 monitors.
Why?
Hey,
I can't handle one, sister. How am I going to do two?
Hey, I'm just trying not to make sucking noises, trying to get this Jello shot out of the can. Okay.
Yes, this is the beauty of not having you on screen. Our imaginations are running wild here.
And just for the record, the cans are very small, and I've only had one. Okay.
How many did you purchase, Vicky?
2.
So later on, Cobra will be sucking Jello again.
No, I have to save that one for Tay. Otherwise, he won't be able to try any of it.
Right,
I left him the easy
so
way.
rephrase that. Later on, Cobrat's husband will be sucking Jello from a can.
Exactly.
That's what they do in California. Yeah.
Yeah, we suck Jello from cans.
Oh my God.
Where were we? All right. Yes, Nancy.
Yes, grilling meat.
Nancy.
Right. You sent me a bunch of photos, which will, at a certain point during the show, will appear. For the entertainment of our audience, but noticed from those photographs that you've travelled around quite a lot. So, has there been a favourite place that you've been on? Tell us about your travels and which was your favourite place.
Well, actually, I have traveled a bit, but it's actually mostly been in the U.S. that I've traveled. But I do want to travel a lot more internationally. Unfortunately, obviously, right now it can't happen, but it will eventually I want to travel a lot more internationally. But for my favorite place, I think at the moment, it's actually more in the US. I actually like there's the Gettysburg, Pennsylvania area. It's just literally, it's so full of different places you can go to, and it's just I mean,
Varied, very varied.
yes, yeah, it's so much to do. I mean, if you like chocolate, you go to Hershey, Pennsylvania, and they have Dutch country, and they have a whole bunch of other places in Pennsylvania, and nature is just astonishing there. Again, it's just the snow that I'm just like about, but other than that, it's just beautiful out there. So that would probably
I'll have to look that
be
up.
currently my favorite area place. Actually, one of those pictures you actually have is of a certain spot in Pennsylvania.
Right.
That I'm in.
Okay, so I was thinking, I like Korea, or I like wherever else.
That
Yes, but you
is
want to
actually one of my favorites. Korea is Jeju Island, but unfortunately I have not been there. That's the thing. I would I have not traveled there, but I want to travel there, and that would be one of my biggest wants of traveling internationally.
Oh, another big want that you had that you also mentioned was that, and where you've not travelled yet, is Japan. And I know the other mod squatters, some of them have been, and some of them are really wanting to go. Have you already planned out what you'll do and see when you do go there? Or is this just a future prospect?
Oh, I'm going to gain like 20 pounds.
Well, that's a given.
I am going to be eating food like there's no tomorrow in Japan.
Yeah.
Because obviously they have a lot of reasonably priced food, and it's really good food. So I'm not going to be able to hold myself back from eating.
Yeah. So it's where you marked on the map to go. It's not a historical site. It's like ramen here, ramen there.
Yeah. I'm going to be I'm going to just be sitting there and eating a whole bunch, and then I will be taking in all the nature and the sights and sounds of Japan. Definitely.
Oh well, Bob says you'll walk it all off in Japan. So there you go. You'll be all right.
That's true. That is very true.
So now. No, I don't know if you're still in the comments, Shinichi, but I mean, you and the other mod squatters moderate for Tabby Eats and Totally Drew and Eyes Munchies and a whole bunch of others that I don't know, possibly. But one of the questions I asked the other guys previously was, how did you get into YouTube? And I mean, did you meet the mod squatters socially first or through YouTube? So how did you get into YouTube?
You're talking to me? Me?
I'm talking to you.
Me?
You talking to me?
Wise, I was like, huh? Is it all of us?
You talking to me?
Okay, so me, I actually got into YouTube basically because of Korean culture and food, technically. I was looking for different ways to connect with my, I guess, culture and background. And YouTube was one of those places where you can find people who, either have visited or are living or that kind of thing with around Korea. Now, how did I basically do like the Mod Squad and Tabby Eats and so forth is through Korea, actually, because Shinichi loves Korean food. I know that for sure. And I was looking around YouTube for, recipes and different channels that might feature Korean recipes or foods. And it was sort of recommended to me. And I've sort of went in to see what it was all about. And any kind of videos that they've had, and what I saw, I was like, awesome, you know.
Yeah.
And then it sort of pitched into uh, different aspects of Japan, because obviously Shinichi lives in Japan. So, and as well as other Asian countries. So I sort of went through that whole phase of let's see what other YouTubers there are that might be interested in Japan and food, the food culture, especially in Japan. So that's where I started, and I became a Mod Squad member basically after being on the different channels.
I kept seeing you appearing.
Yes.
You know, and then interacted and discovered you were just down the road. And
yeah, literally, I was like, yes, definitely. I'm like, especially now, recently with the pandemic, I had a lot more time on my hands. So I'm like, why not try to do some moderation for YouTube channels to support them, you know, especially with the content that they have that is so brilliantly awesome, you know. So I started off with that and then just kept going.
Cool. All right. So you know, now, I mean, it's almost like a full-time job, because if I look at Tabi Shinichi's world, they have hundreds of people coming into comments. So you guys must just have to constantly.
Yes,
sort of,
yes, of course.
yeah.
It's not quite as easy as you think to be a moderator, but it's always very rewarding to
Here
support
it's very
somebody
easy.
who
I just have to sort of tell them off. If I see them being naughty in comments, tell them off.
Yeah, that's true. We have to sometimes do the whole band hammer down on an occasion. Yes.
So final question. So is there something you have done in your life that you hadn't expected you would? So, and this has a just to give you a subtle hint, so that you don't so go all red faced or anything. It's nautical.
Okay. Yes.
I mean, it has a nautical. I'm expecting a nautical answer.
Yes, I have. Okay. There's a lot of things I've done in the past, but you know, okay, that is not necessarily something that I thought about doing. But I actually took what was surprising. I actually took sailing lessons. It's one of those things where I'm like, oh, I wasn't sure what I should go into, but I actually, you know, I like the water a lot. So I'm like, maybe I should go and see what you can do in the water wise. Actually, the next one I'm probably thinking of maybe getting a diver's license, but
it's like getting parachute. You need diving.
Yeah, that kind of thing. But
in case the sailing doesn't go as planned. Yeah.
Right, baby steps first. So I started with sailing. So it's really, really nice to be able to be on the water and know what you're kind of doing in the water, basically. So
that will help.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's
who's that going round in circles? Oh, it's Nancy.
That's exactly right. I'm going to be doing the SOS.
Well, as Shinichi says in the comments, thank you, Nancy. So nice to learn more about. Indeed, because Nancy is one of the mod squatters. If you go to, if you're a regular at Tabi Eats or Eyes Munches or Totally Drew, you'll see these guys in the comments. Now you know who they are. And I'm going to bring the others back in. There we go. Oh, what happened to Karen? Where did she go? Did she push? Oh no. Come back. Where are you? If you're watching, come back. Oh, Bob's wanting technical details. Where do you sail from? What type and size of boat? He's going to be out there with his binoculars. Hooray! You're back.
Yay.
Do I add you to the stream yet? No, hang on. What happened, NightridersGal? Oh, she's gone. She's not connected. She's plugged herself out. You touched something you shouldn't have, didn't you? Yeah.
I'm sitting far back away from my laptop.
Oh, come on, Mindy's mom. Touch something.
Just-
Touch one of the keys.
That person to disappear. I'm not touching anything.
okay.
My son is supposed to be in chat somewhere, so honey, thank you for your help.
So what do I do now? And now that I've got you on there, I will ask you. I didn't ask you before we started, but you put a bunch of pictures up, and are you okay? You're okay for me to have those going in the background near me. Those pictures that you sent.
I guess.
This is everybody.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So I'm going to go here. Hello.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's hard to
Whatever.
sequence there. Hang on.
Sister, that's
If I go here.
What kind of a
look-
sequence
oh,
is that?
guess who's in the picture sequence?
this picture here. She's gone. She's now totally embarrassed. She
Oh,
asked me
see,
to put
that
this
gave it away of who that was.
Yes.
Oh
She
my
said, I
God.
want this picture to be shown. Ladies and gentlemen, in the top right of my screen there. If you ever wondered what she looked like when you were as a moderator.
Yeah, minus the pigtails. I think she's
I
kind of given
love
those up.
pigtails.
This is NightridersGal and her brother. I'm not sure whether it is the brother she kept calling. She's back. She can perhaps inform us whether this was the brother that she said was always a mistake. No, I think that was a.
Oh my God.
Oh goodness.
She keeps. Where? I'm going to add. I'm going to add you to the stream. So you're all yellow. It's what's going?
Hello.
Hang on.
Yes, we're hanging on. We're admiring your pigtails at the moment.
That's me when I was probably around. I think I was about 3, and that's my older brother. I have 2 brothers.
Right.
That's my
There is
older brother.
There's
And
another
see,
picture.
that's I wanted you to show that picture because that was like a warning of my big mouth. See my big mouth?
Okay, let's
I
see.
haven't closed it since. See?
Oh goodness.
Oh dear.
Don't you like my hair?
I love your hair.
Would you try that now?
Hey, the hubby just laughs at me because every once in a while I do that.
Oh, we'll have some serious hair coming up in later, everybody. I mean, this is another one of NightridersGal. This is without the pigtails. Is this still the older brother,
Yes.
or is this?
Yes,
right.
that's still.
So-
My younger brother's 11 years my junior, and
oh right, yeah. So yes, he wouldn't appear here.
so he
Yeah.
wasn't there. That's my brother Mark. He's like 18 months older than me.
Mm.
See,
cute.
look, I look so innocent, don't I?
So when did you grow out of that one? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, this is where she grew out of that. Look. She still looks innocent, but I mean, there's something.
Yeah,
So
that was
this
at
is
a family
NightridersGal.
gathering. That picture. I was probably in my 30s then.
Wow, you look. I thought you were in your teens.
I know, the high school picture.
Yeah.
I was in my late 20s, early 30s then, probably.
Nice.
That's probably me in my 40s.
Hmm. So yes, we won't. We're going to details now because is the next picture. The next picture is for those wondering who is going to appear next. if I do go that, just click on it. There we are. There we are. Who is this?
Oh my gosh.
Who is that actually?
Wings.
This is Mindy's mom. So when she's kicking you out of comments, it's this sweet little girl.
Just imagine that face kicking you out of, smashing down the band hammer.
Oh,
There she is again.
That's
This
the
is
bad
the one
one.
that you were not. You're not. Yes. This is
Yeah.
your.
Oh.
What does
we
she
can
keep
speed
doing?
through that one, Simon. That was that awkward age.
Yes, the transition from.
Oh my gosh.
But it gets better. Look at this. Whoa.
Ooh,
My
baby.
Hawaii. That's my cousin who lives in Hawaii.
Mm.
Oh, that's not you then.
That would be me. With my cousin,
With your
Rob.
cousin. Yeah.
His name is John. Oh,
Oh.
goodness.
I don't know. Let's have a look. What's next one? Next one is very. I like the next one. There we are. This is. So if you've been banned, you'll not be too sad about it. Because
So
you've
my
been banned.
husband is threatening to have that tattooed on his back.
I like that picture. That's beautiful.
That is my Seijinski. That's my age 20 coming out. It's like a coming out thing for
Mm.
Japanese girls. My
That's
mother, I was
fantastic. Come on.
forced to do that because my mother could never do that when she was that age. So she lived her life vicariously through me.
Aw.
And my sister
and
was
this
never
is-
forced to do it.
This is really what Mindy. This is last week in a parking lot. In a,
Exactly. That was on my way to my son's 25th birthday dinner.
right.
That's pretty close to your avatar.
Nah.
Oh look. And now you all wonder what Nancy looked like, and there she is.
Yeah, that was a lovely high school picture. Yearbook
You look
pictures are
the
always
same,
fun.
sister.
You do.
You haven't changed much.
No, I have not. Other than gain weight, probably. That's about it.
It's all that food.
Oh.
Yes,
Yeah,
this is the
exactly.
trouble with watching Tabby eat. But
Yeah.
obviously, if you're still there, Shinichi, I mean, what do you do? After you've binged on all that konbini food, I mean, presumably you just have to walk a lot because you're always having this Japanese snack, that Japanese.
Yeah,
Long walks.
long walks.
Oh,
What was Knight Rider do? What do you keep doing?
she's just doing that to make sure we're paying attention.
Oh. And yeah, so
Okay.
that picture is of me. What I was telling you before. This is actually Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. It's pretty much at
So
the.
there's lots of park benches to visit.
Yes, it's literally. It's probably behind. Oh, behind that
I'll
one.
go
It was
back
like
to
a
it, yeah.
cemetery type thing. Right
Yeah,
by
yeah,
the.
the
It's
Civil
like
War
a
cemetery.
Lincoln's address thing, memorial
Mm.
over there. So that Gettysburg is one of those places where I liked a lot. They had a Eternal Light Peace Memorial there that is literally
Ooh.
it was so like peaceful there that you could just fall asleep on one of those benches that that were there at the memorial and not
Right.
really care.
Come to
now.
Gettysburg, fall asleep.
Yeah, basically. But it's
And this-
very peaceful over there. So
This
That's
doesn't
nice.
look like Gettysburg at all.
Yes.
No. What's
Now
this? What's this one?
is actually Korea. This is me, taking pictures with statues in a folk village in Seoul that we went to. Yeah, that's really some. I had some fun times in Korea. Lots of getting lost. and so forth. So
No Google
it was
Maps
fun.
secret.
Yeah, that one. Before then,
Yeah.
that one was actually that's Niagara Falls, Canada.
Yes.
Yes, that's I literally went there with family for a day, and it rained the whole day there, and you can tell the camera got soggy, pictures got soggy, and we
You
even
got
did
soggy.
the tour all in the rain, pretty much. But it was nice still. But it's obviously it was one of those days that it was just pouring down rain, and of course this one is actually DC. If Washington DC
yes.
in the U.S.
It's a memorial,
If you know watch Forrest Gump the movie or so forth, you can see it's the reflecting pool and the Washington Monument in the background. And actually, if you would turn the camera around, that's actually also the Lincoln Memorial over around that side.
Run.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, and of course there's cherry trees. Cherry blossom trees that line the.
We've jumped ahead of ourselves. Who
Oh
is
no,
this?
who's this?
Are you talking about me or about the guy?
Is this another cousin? Is it all cousins in California?
No, that's my friend Dave. He was signing my best friend's yearbook.
Oh.
So this is when I was like 15, 16.
Wow.
I love
before
it.
YouTube. Oh, look, there we go. There's the hair. Look.
Oh,
I was about 26 for that.
This must have been the 1980s. I'm just judging from the hair.
What? I love the hair.
Well, I told them, I said, I don't care what you do, just make sure it doesn't look like me.
Beautiful.
And then we saw that there we are. This is now.
Yeah. Well, no, I think it was in my late 30s or early 40s.
What?
And that was just me playing around with the filter on my laptop cam. Yeah, no makeup, no nothing. I'm just like, yeah, whatever.
So there we are. So those of you in the audience, whenever you Tabby Eats or the others, you have now a visual reference for all your moderators.
All those of us who's gonna sit there and tell you no.
Or trying to do out. No, I'm kidding.
Oh dear. Oh, I might have.
I'm sorry. You can't say that. You can't say that in here. I'm sorry. Bye.
Could I ask you a favor, moderators? Because it's
Yes.
it's as Peppo says in the audience, it's very early morning in here, and
We're not going to make Peppo breakfast.
No, I've just.
Oh, okay.
I'm just like I said before. I've just had one shot, and I've a cup waiting downstairs. I'm going to heat it up, and have my second coffee.
I've had one shot.
Oh well, yes.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
But I'm going to go and get my coffee. But can you hold the fort and keep the audience entertained while I'll only be in a couple of minutes. Okay, I'm going to go and come back, and hopefully everything will be all right when I get back.
Okay, you guys, but there's not going to be any singing or dancing going on.
Yes,
That's it,
you
he's
are wrong.
gone.
We are this jovial when we moderate.
We're having a good old time when we're banning people. No, I'm just kidding.
You should see us when we all get together. We have a really good time. I wish you could join us.
That's true. We do. We plan on an hour, a couple hours, and it ends up being like 4 hours later.
Or it's more like 5 or 6.
Well, I was being nice.
It's time to get together again. We haven't
It
seen
is.
now.
It is. Simon, no, he didn't leave the building. He just left the upstairs.
Shinichi, brother Shinichi, you are a lot of fun, and it's time for you to come back to SoCal so we can all hang out again.
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
We
You
will
remember
take
how
you everywhere.
you remember how quiet I was when you were here, Shinichi? It was all a front. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I didn't know any of you guys then.
Yeah.
Well, even when we were walking out the door, I turned to Tay and I said, "Why am I doing this again? I don't know these people." But I'm glad I went.
Yeah, me too. Ah, who are you anyway? Brother said. For those that don't know this, Brother Shinichi is super hot. He's hot anyway, but when you see him in real life, oh
Yes.
my God. He's one good looking guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bob, we're basically all located, with the exception of Nancy. We're located in the San Gabriel Valley.
Hey, you're not
COBRAT. What? You don't want him to know that?
Right. Not descended into chaos. Okay.
Oh,
Stop.
no.
I see Shinichi saying stop. Well, stop what? What's going on?
I'm talking about how hot he is. He's hot.
All right.
And it's not just because it was 120 that day. Oh no.
What on earth?
He's Rainbow Bridge material.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
He needs his own
True.
T-shirt with a timestamp. That's right.
I've obviously sort of missed some.
So Bob, you're in San Diego, so I would say I'm about 2 hours away from you.
We're hooking up. The
Yeah,
Nod
I would
Squad
be
is
the
hooking.
We're hooking up? Oh my word. She's a new bride and she's hooking up.
Oh goodness.
Oh, dear.
I didn't
Go.
say that.
Oh dear.
All right, Simon, we're going to turn the tables on you and ask
Orange
you
County,
some
Orange
questions.
County. Okay.
That's right. Since you sat there and grilled me, I'm stepping up, and it's time to grill you. Basically.
Woo!
All right. Okay.
Okay. So, from what I wanted to ask is what for you? I hope you're ready for this. What is something about you or out of the ordinary you have done that others might not know about you?
Oh God.
Trying to stump you.
Right. I once appeared on stage in school in drag. Yes, danced in drag. I think it was about 16, 17, and full makeup, and I wore black polythene over me. It was like encased in black polythene, and I wore a wig, and it didn't last very long. I mean, there were other guys from my class also in drag. It was a sort of, I also danced. We did. Remember Fame?
Yeah.
The TV show. We did a little number because it was back at that time. We did a little dance number, Fame, and that was the first and last and only time I've ever done that sort of thing.
And I would be willing to bet
Yes.
that, like many others, that you look better than I do as a female, and that's so annoying.
I did forget to take my eyeliner. I discovered that day what it is that ladies go through, and that you spend your half your morning putting on a mask, The foundation, powder, eyeliner, and I was able to take most of it off after the show had finished, but I'd forgotten my eyeliner and mascara. So I just I got my regular clothes back on and went back from school, walked through town, and getting strange looks.
Well, but there are a lot of guys that wore eyeliner and stuff back then.
Yeah, but not in a small rural town in the north of England. No, generally not. That was something that some people may or may not know. Yeah.
Yeah,
did that answer your question?
Yes, it did. It did. And then I have one more question, and I know that basically it's not really all that too big yet, but since even though you're a small channel, and hopefully that might change soon, what are your thoughts about YouTube meetups? Would you host one? Would you have you been to any? And what's your thoughts on
I generally, I've been to Japan 4 times and always been after or before the YouTube meetup there. So the nearest I got to going to that was sort of one of the organizers set a laptop up in the bar where the meetup was gathering, and I did my show, and sort of my show appeared live in the meetup. That was the closest I got. So yeah, I enjoy sort of that interacting with the YouTubers. And of course, Shinichi there, he came to Amsterdam, was it 2 years, last year or 2 years ago, before the pandemic, obviously, so 2 years ago. And he was visiting Amsterdam, and there was a meetup there, so I was able to, because it's not that far from me, so I was able to go there, and that was cool, meeting up with, whether I would do it. I've kind of had a sort of, I've met other YouTubers in Japan, and I met Peppo, who was on my live stream. We went round Maastricht together. Done a mini kind of like meetup, but yeah, it might be fun to do, if it's, if you all bring a mask and your certificate, then yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was it. My last.
Oh, right.
question.
Oh, phew. Okay. I got that was easy.
Yeah, well,
those are her
me.
questions.
We just started, so. So I don't know who wants to go next.
I will, if you don't mind. I know that you've known Tomoko for over 5 years. I was wondering how you met her, and how did you meet the other J vloggers around Japan?
Oh, right. Well, Tomoko, for those in the audience who probably do know, but those who don't, some of my new YouTube friends, Adolabate and from the other week, and Rory, if still there. Tomoko Des is a Japanese YouTuber, lives in Nagoya, and she appeared on first, before she started her own channel, she appeared as a guest on live streams by a YouTuber in Nagoya called Gimme a Break Man. And he had an English school, and he first started doing just live streams, giving English lessons Japanese lessons. And she was one of his students in his English class, and she was very sort of genki, and had a background in the media. So he got her on the show, and she became sort of like his sparring partner. So I saw her on that show, and when I'd started my original show 8 years ago, I'd seen YouTubers and J vloggers and sort of approached them and asked them if they'd be interested in appearing on my show. And I did the same thing with Tomoko, and she agreed. So she appeared on my show as a guest. It was much looser back then. He just sort of turned up and drank wine and had a good time. a bit like this really. But and then she, when I went to Japan, obviously we agreed to meet up. So I met up with the Give Me a Flake man. I went to Nagoya and I met up with them all there. So that's how that started, really.
Oh, very cool. Thank you.
I'm still in touch with it. And actually, sort of little known fact. I mean, most people here know that I met the actress Yoko Shimada, but Tomoko actually, I used to write sort of messages to Yoko, and sometimes I tried to do it in Japanese, and Tomoko helped me. You know, she checked that I was not being sort of inappropriate or that I'd spelt correctly and that sort of thing. So
yeah, she's a great teacher. I love how she teaches Japanese on her channel. Yeah.
She's just an all-round fun person.
She is. I've had a chance to meet her in person one time, and she is super nice. Yeah. So my next question.
Oh no, this sounds like ominous.
I just want to know, is macaroni pudding a popular dish in Belgium? And have you ever had it with cheese?
Yes, this would be the most popular video on my old channel, on my existing channel. For some reason, I don't know why. I mean, perhaps because it's food related. You know, perhaps I should just put food in my thumbnails and get clickbait and get lots of subscribers. But I mean, macaroni pudding. Yes. Well, that was actually a response video to another YouTuber.
Oh.
Called Caffeine Jedi, who's been on the show before. She's also, I think, is she from Florida? She's from California. She lives in California now, but she used to live in England for a long time, and she made a video, drunken cooking video, with a pasta dish, and it was a savoury pasta dish. So I thought I'd make one. I looked up a recipe, and it was very, it was within my capabilities. Just macaroni, milk, and sugar. So I could do that, So I did that, and a bit of vanilla flavouring and so on, and it is tasty. I would recommend it, and I have had it with cheese, but not with sugar and cheese.
All right.
Yeah, but it's basically, if you've ever had rice pudding, just replace the rice with macaroni, and you get the same sort of thing. Yeah, it's not good for the figure, but it tastes all right.
Very cool. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna go next because this question is kind of related to that.
Oh right.
So, what would you say? Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
So, what would you say is a must eat from Belgium?
Oh, good question.
Yes.
That is a good
and don't
question.
say that.
What would I say? That's good. There's lots of things you could have from here, but if you wanted to have something that was quintessentially Belgian, you'd have either Gentse Wortezooi or Paling in het Groen. There you are. Paling in het Groen. That's eels in a green jelly sauce.
I've heard of that before. Okay.
Yes. So that. Well, the J vlog says fries. What you'd add? You would add fries. Yes. It's a given that frieten, French fries, which are actually invented in Belgium, but yeah, paling eel. Yeah, Peppo knows it. Yeah, paling in het groen. Paling is eel in Dutch, sort of. So yes, eels in green sauce. And I've never had it because it sounded totally disgusting. But I mean, if you
what is the green sauce made out of?
What is the what?
What is a green sauce made from?
I never investigated that. It's just when somebody said, "Oh, there's parling in its groon," and I looked at it and I thought, "Oh God."
And it's gelatinous too.
It's gelatinous. Eels are so squirmy and slimy, and it's in a green jelly sauce. It's like something that would Shrek would eat, you know.
No.
So this is why they have strong beer in it. You need that before you have a go.
You were supposed to say chocolate, Simon. Don't you know Belgium's known for their chocolate?
Eels in chocolate. There we are.
No.
Okay, so then an easier question then. It's kind of a two-parter. So when you go to Japan, what is like the first thing you want to eat or the last thing you want to make sure you eat before you leave Japan?
Great question.
That is good. I mean, usually the first thing I eat is when I get to the hotel and I've not had time to. I just go to the nearest konbini and I get an onigiri, and a banana and a Boss coffee, and that's usually my breakfast. So the first thing I would generally eat when I go to Japan is an onigiri. It's very sort of basic, but yes. And the last thing is also usually an onigiri in the hotel before I get on the plane, but not very adventurous. I mean, I do like sashimi and I do like sushi, but I prefer sashimi. So, I like sashimi.
Cool. Okay, I'm done. Go ahead. You pass.
My questions are a little bit more in depth, I guess. I've always been curious as to why you're drawn to Japan. What's your connection to Japan? I'd like to know, because you were originally in the UK and then you went to Belgium and and I just don't know how you got drawn to Japan.
Well, I have a video. This will if I go here, this might be loud. If I go here, just tell me if it's too loud, and I will stop it. Oh, it's not playing very well.
That's not too loud because I can't hear it.
Oh, you can't hear it. Well, I'll just stop it. But those ladies there, who are now about our age, they are the 5, 6, 7, 8s who are, as you can see, they're a rock and roll band. And I happened one day in my late 40s to be listening to some music on YouTube, and that got popped because of the kind of music I was listening to. That got recommended one of their songs, so I listened to it, enjoyed it, and saw who was making the music, and I thought, wow, that's unexpected, and that just kind of triggered my curiosity. Up until then, Japan had just been cars, motorbikes, appliances, hadn't really given much thought to it or anything. Had a kind of very stereotypical image in my head of everybody's just like salarymen, and it's all temples and very peaceful and bullet trains, and didn't think anything more about it than your average. And then I saw this and thought, oh, this isn't meat. This is like cognitive dissonance. It didn't match my idea of what Japan was. So curiosity was piqued, and I started to see more of videos of this band, and wanted to find out if they were still going, and they were. And a YouTuber had actually been to their most recent concert and filmed it. So I subscribed to his channel, and he lived in Tokyo. So I watched his other videos, and he was like just basically walking around streets where he lived, and that was showing me what Tokyo looked like. Oh, that's what Tokyo looks like. And I thought, I wonder what the rest of Japan looks like. And I just started getting more and more. And the more videos I looked at about Japan, the more YouTube recommended me. And that's when I went down the rabbit hole. That's how I kind of got interested in Japan. But what then the YouTube connection was, I think I told you, the Canadian Japanese woman who was doing live streams. That's, I found her on YouTube and started watching her. And that's when the whole J-vlog sort of connection thing started, because J-vloggers started popping up in my recommendations, and I was wanting to find out more about life in Japan. And since I didn't understand a word of Japanese, I had to rely on J-vloggers because they were living there, and they were English speakers, and they were telling me, this is what happens in Japan, that's what's happening in Japan, Japan is like this, and they were going to different places. Just got more and more and more, and the ball started rolling that way, really.
Thank you. That was interesting.
Yeah.
I'm also fascinated, but you're very, to me, you're very multifaceted. You're very talented in a lot of different areas. You were a thespian, from what I can tell, when you were dressing up in drag.
Yes, I've come out. I'm now, out and proud. No.
And you're a musician, and you're an artist, and no, don't be modest. I'm
not a musician. Artist with a small a, but a musician. No. I played drums at college, briefly, for a few weeks.
It's just, and I'm just curious as to your job, your various jobs that you've had, or careers that you've, had throughout your life. And, you just fascinate me because your interests are so varied, and you seem to be, in my opinion, you're very accomplished in all those things.
Don't tell my boss then. Well, at school, I didn't quite know what I just enjoyed drawing and stuff as a child, and at school was basically, that was my sort of interest at school, and I went on from school to art college. Still not quite sure what I was going to. I wanted to go into television to do special effects, and that kind of thing. And so my parents were quite happy for me to go to art college to do that. They thought that, sort of was sensible. But then when I got to art college, I discovered art, and special effects went out the window, and I just enjoyed doing art for art's sake. But then I also enjoyed, television and film, and I discovered that there was an area of art that sort of kind of combined both, which was like film and video art. So when I went to college, I did a sort of a basic course, and then you went on to do your degree. So I did my degree in film and video art, which is nothing at all like what Bob did. Bob did sort of regular film and studying properly how to do things properly. At art college, it was the art with a capital A, and you got a camera, and they said go away and make some art. And you went away, and you came up with ideas, and you pointed the camera at all kinds of things and did all kinds of weird stuff. And then you had to sit and explain it to the tutors afterwards. What was your reasoning behind this? Oh, well, it's art. And obviously, if you do 3 years of that and you come out the other end, there's not a lot of people, saying, "Hey, yes, come and make weird videos for us. We'll pay you." So I had to think of something else, and I lived in I discovered while I was at college that I actually did live at home in a very beautiful part of the world, which is northwest of England in the Lake District, like hills and trees and lakes and stuff. Hadn't really noticed it when I was living there, but once I'd been away to college and came back, oh, it's nice here. I want to stay here. But as I say, there's not a lot of call for, art. It doesn't pay the bills.
Yeah.
So, but I was interested in history as well, and the area that I did come to love. So I thought, it would be nice to work in a museum here. But they all weren't clamoring for people with a degree in fine art. They were looking for people with degrees in history or something like that. So the best I could do at the time was get a job as a volunteer. So I volunteered to work in a museum, and that was enjoyable. You got to go behind the scenes. You got to see the sort of the actual artifacts from the museum and catalogue them and handle the artifacts and all that kind of stuff that the public could only see them in the cases, but you could actually go and sort of interact with these historical objects. So I found that really fun. And then I got kind of in a situation where I was living in a flat in a village, and the term for living there was coming up. It was only for 6 months, and I was stuck. What am I going to do? I need to find somewhere else to live. But fortunately, somebody came into the museum from another museum and said, "Oh, at our museum, if you work there as a volunteer, they give you free accommodation." So I immediately went and applied, and they said, "Oh yes, you can come and work here." And so I immediately got a new place to live and a new museum. And this one it was great because it was all the volunteers were graduates who were sort of also doing the same thing, trying to get into some kind of career in museums or something related, and they were doing this for experience. So basically it was like going back to college, living in dorms actually just houses just around these old 19th century houses next to the museum. We all had like rooms in them. And it was a very cozy little community, and I enjoyed it. So I stayed there for 2 years doing that, and it was right slap bang in the middle of the Lake District, with surrounded by hills with a lake just down, just sort of a walk away. So, and pubs as well, which was good. So yes, I tried to stay there as long as I could, working as a volunteer. But as I was mentioning before, you were getting government handouts because you were unemployed, and government kept saying, "When are you going to look for work? You've got to show that you're looking for work, otherwise we'll stop giving you money." And the museum wasn't employing the volunteers anymore. It used to sort of keep them on, if they proved useful. But it had run out of spaces, and so I couldn't stay there, and so I had to find something. And luckily, I found a job about an hour up the road, working at a historic house for a national organisation that looks after sort of historic houses and areas of natural beauty. And I worked there for 5 years doing that. That was good. And I just basically had to supervise the volunteers and clean the objects in the house before the visitors came in, and you had to do that in a special way because they were delicate historical objects and all that. And I helped the manager of the house. But the bulk of my day there was spent sat reading, which was good. I got paid for sitting reading, waiting for visitors to come in. So I got a little chunky around the waist doing that job. I mean, I was doing lots of cycling and walking as well because it was still in the Lake District with beautiful scenery and stuff. But yes, I enjoyed that job. And then I met my Belgian girlfriend, and she came to live with me for a couple of years out in the middle of nowhere, and got bored and said, "I'm going back." So you can either stay here or come with me. And so that's how I ended up in Belgium.
Oh.
And now I work as a part-time forklift truck driver. So it's slight change. Yeah. That's my
an
career
interesting
path.
job change.
Yes, it pays the bills basically. Yeah,
Yep.
that's why I did that.
Yeah, but your past kind of segues into you being a YouTuber, because you were sort of trained in doing that, and you're very artistic and you like to express yourself. I mean, the thing I admire most about your channel is like I like your adverts, as you call them. I mean, it's fascinating. You put a lot of time and effort into those things,
Yes, I was up till 1 o'clock in the morning with them.
Yeah. I mean, you use green screens, and it fascinates me that that reading paid off. I mean, you're very you're knowledgeable in a lot of things, and I admire that about you. But,
well, I mean, I don't think I could mod. I mean, the mod squad is. I mean, I'd be overwhelmed, and certainly.
I get overwhelmed. Yeah. I do get overwhelmed, but I mean, I've had good teachers in Mindy's mom and COBRAT. And like Ramsey's Silent. I had a lot of good teachers. People that have been modding for years.
Here's a question for a moderator question. Sort of whose live stream that you moderate for is the most problematic when it comes to having to deal with irritating commenters? That's how we say.
It's hard because it goes in cycles. It's like one channel will be fine for the longest time, and then one day, blam, you get all kinds of trolls coming in. Yeah, and you're like, what the heck's going on? And then the next day it goes back to being normal, and it happens on different channels. Whether you have a large amount of viewers, or whether you have a few viewers, because I have channels that's only they only have like 3-4 viewers, but still within that you still have trolls coming in.
Good mate. 3 trolls. Who is it? Which one of them? See you, Peppo.
I've always been told that our modding style is different compared to other moderators, and that we're always greeting everybody in chat. And I know that we've always received positive reviews in Tabi Eats about that. People are so appreciative that, we're taking the time to greet them and to say hi to them and see how they're doing.
Yes, I mean, it's. I'm lucky. I have no trolls. Trolls, no trolls. Okay, and I can just look at them in the comments, and I give them the death stare.
Simon.
So I mean, I moderate myself.
We can start trolling your channel if you want to.
Oh my god! Well, I shall know who it is.
We can change our names, Simon.
Bye, Peppo. Take care. Thanks for being here with us.
Yes, thank you, Peppo.
So, I think
Simon trolls us.
That's right. Yes, expert.
Good one, Mark.
That's funny.
So, audience. We've not really interacted with the audience. I'm terribly sorry, but audience, that now is your moment. Does the audience have any questions for the moderators, for the mod
or
squad?
Simon,
or you?
Yes.
And no, I did not go downstairs and get the other Jello shot.
We're just waiting now for the flood of comments.
I agree at the J-Blog. Simon does have the wit to be a master troll. He's kind of sneaky.
UFO Bob. Throw your boat gently, gently.
All I know is I always have to keep my fingers under control, but my mouth can say whatever it wants as long as there's no voice, no audio. I'm fine.
That'll be your undoing. Yes.
Right.
It's just imagine if there was audio moderating.
Oh, heck no.
or even worse, video moderating.
The Zoom meeting from hell, you know.
It's like, why did you just roll your eyes at that person coming in?
Oh dear. Wow. Well, audience, I see that the flood of questions are not appeared, and do I moderate together or at different times? Oh, there you go. Do you moderate together or at different times, moderators, mod squad?
It's whoever's available to come into the streams. We're not always there, you know, as a group, but
they have a rota. They send each other a rota.
Yeah, and we don't all moderate the same channels, so
yeah, that's true. That's true. But
yeah, so it depends on the streamer when they go live. And then most of us mod other channels that we're not all mods on. So it depends.
And do you sort of like sometimes recommend each other? And if you can't do it one day, sort of, can you go and mod on that one?
Oh yeah,
today?
yeah.
Like, well, it that depends, because if we're not already quote unquote modded on that channel, then we are not able to do that.
That's right. Yes, you have to be given the wrench, don't you?
Right.
Right. But Mindy's mom, and we have a group text that's just consists of the moderators here, and we'll like give each other a heads up, like Tabby Eats is going live, or Eyes Munchie is going live, and you know, all the girls, they see it. Hopefully they'll see it, and if they're available, then they'll go into the
step
stream.
in. Yeah.
If not, then they don't. And we do have each other's backs in that respect. You know.
Oh, that's good.
But,
Bob's asking, how long have you been moderating?
go ahead, sister. Sorry.
I probably have been moderating probably the least out of all these girls. I started moderating for actually for the J vlog. He was my first YouTuber that made me a moderator, and I think I had only been watching YouTube for maybe 3 or 4 months.
Good job, J Vlog.
during the pandemic, and that's how I got
very recent.
That's how I got interested into YouTube, because I really just was researching a recipe or how to make a recipe, and sure, I mean, Sinichi Tabby Eats showed up, and I started watching them, and for the longest time I lurked for like 2 months. I lurked and I didn't say anything, and then I finally got up the courage to chat or make a comment, and Mindy's mom was so inviting, and I felt so safe with her, and I wasn't embarrassed anymore, and that's she's what drew me into Tabby Eats. And then
ringleader.
Yeah. Not a ringleader. She's not a ringleader, but she's well known, in the J vlogging moderating world. She's well known. So, and I kind of owe my start to YouTube through Tabby Eats, and I modded for like the J Vlog, who's here in chat. I thank you for having the courage to make me one of your mods. Way back when. but yeah, that's my venture, because I kept telling Mindy's mom, I don't want to be a moderator. I don't want to be a moderator.
Too bad.
There's an interesting question from Bob. It says, what's the most difficult mod situation that you've had to deal with? As a group, where you've all gone, hey, can you help? I need some help. Quick.
When the nasty comments come flying in and they spam those comments.
Yes.
It's hard. It's really hard. So it takes all of us to work together. And that has happened.
Yes, it has.
So,
it has happened.
The mod squad goes into action, sort of, like sirens on the.
But it's not just us. There's other moderators in there too, and it's funny because the male moderators are the ones that generally drop the hammer on these guys, on the trolls, but the female moderators, aka the mod squad, we're the more chatty ones. We say like, how are you doing? How have you been? We know
killing with kindness.
Yeah, we know little snippets about each and every one of the subscribers or the viewers, and
I'll say most of them do.
Yeah, but no, like if I see a certain male moderators in the stream, they will drop the hammer, on them. But I mean, there has been times where we as a group, the mod squad as a group, we especially what Mindy's mom is talking about, where we had to be the ones deleting comments. In fact, it was terrible. I deleted a comment on this poor guy. I felt so bad. He said he was saying something totally innocent, and he was right amongst all the spamming. Yeah. And the thing was just going like crazy, and I deleted him from chat. I had no problem.
Beware of the monster.
I had to apologize. Well, see, I told you I'm technically challenged and I have a big mouth. So I mean, that combo is not well. It doesn't work.
So beware all YouTubers in comments.
Of KnightridersGal.
Yes, if you get these guys.
Well, it serves them right. Yeah. How dare they comment in between the spamming?
So UFO Bob, we were always known as the SoCal girls. So the name Mod Squad actually came from Simon, and we just loved it. So we kept that.
Yes. Simon's our claim to fame. Seriously, after that live stream, that collaboration live stream, everybody knew who the SoCal Mod Squad was, so
cool.
We do. When you said Mod Squad, I was thinking of that what was it, the 70s or the 80s?
It's a TV show. I mean, the theme on the advert I use, the theme music is from the Mod Squad.
Yeah, and I was thinking, oh, he means moderator squad. But yeah, that's cool. I will be forever. I don't know if I should be grateful to you or take you to task, Simon.
When you're raking in the money from the merchandising, that's when you should be.
Well, some people have said that I don't know why they would want to listen to us, but some people have asked us to even get our own channel. I'm thinking, no way. There's no way.
They can listen
to
this all the time.
No.
was in a live stream for Photo Look Hawaii earlier today, and there was somebody in chat that said, Mindy's mom, I want to subscribe to your channel. I'm like, I don't have a channel.
You're going to be very bored.
Boring. I don't have a channel. Oh my goodness. But UFO Bob, to answer your question, I have been moderating for Tubby Eats for about 4 years now, maybe a little bit longer. But they're the ones that I started moderating for. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I've been modding for close to 3 years, 2.5, 3 years, somewhere around there.
Yeah, mine was, it's been like a little over a year, probably. It hasn't been
so the
too
junior
long.
member of the mod squad then.
Yes.
Oh, so Nancy, you and I probably have been modding for approximately the same length of time. Because,
Yes.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But
cool.
We all work well together, and not only that, but we're really good friends. So it's meaningful.
Yeah. So YouTube does do things right sometimes.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, otherwise I would never know these girls live well within 45 minutes of where I am.
yeah, that was what totally fascinated me about YouTube, is that I'm speaking, or we're connecting with people in all over the globe, you know, and it just, I that blows my mind. I mean, that just really blows my mind. Like, I never would have met you, Simon, you know, all the way in Belgium. I never would have met you. But that, you know, I'm not trying to be political or anything, but in a time when in the world, when we're all so, you know, we're in our own camps and stuff like that, I think we need to hold out that hand of welcome, or, you know, or, and stop being so, I don't think we should be so guarded. I think we need to be more welcoming to people, and you know, in our lives. I mean, I know I do. And if anything,
yeah, no trolls.
Well said, sister. Well said. That's true.
Yes.
You know,
I agree.
Because if anything, this pandemic has taught me that, you know, that it's a very small world, and we're here for a short period of time, and we really need to make the most of that period of time, you know, and after everything is said and done, you know, does it really matter? I mean, the only thing that I think really matters is the people, is the way you're remembered by people, you know, not how much money you have, or how popular you are, but the way people remember you, and the kindness that you showed, not, you know,
not anything else.
I mean, that's just what I believe, but and I try to live my life like that.
Yeah, that's solid advice for the audience. So, I mean, I think, I like to think that my show, it makes a like small contribution to that kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, I do this every week and enjoy it, and even if there's no guests, I still enjoy doing it and interacting with the audience and so on.
Yeah, so, and yes, whether you have a guest or inside, outside, we enjoy just hanging out with you.
Yeah,
well,
I do.
Well, next week, you can hang out with me again.
Well, next, we'll see from now, Simon. Yeah. It's going to be a little easier because we do our time change.
Tonight at 2.
So
we fall back.
For me, anyway, not so much for like Mindy's mom, because she goes to bed early.
I know. I'm that one old person that goes to bed super. These girls don't sleep.
But see, now you're an hour earlier, so it's going to be a little little easier to get to your streams.
That's true.
Cool. So I can expect you next week. Okay.
I hope so.
Simon, Belgium doesn't change their time.
The hour went back the end of October, so it's now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, so unfortunately, in Japan now they don't change. So
yeah, they don't.
At 8, yeah.
Yes,
Nice.
Bob, it's tonight. Well, it's 2 a.m., right? Something like
Yes, 2
Yeah.
a.m. tonight.
that. Yeah.
Wow.
So early Sunday morning,
Yeah.
it's changing. Yeah.
Cool.
Yes, spring forward, fall back. That's the way I remember it. But
It's okay. As a kid, I used to always like calling time at that time just to listen to her go back an hour. I'm like, how stupid is that?
I forgot we used to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
It was
Wow.
something like what, 853-1212
Yes,
or something?
yeah.
I'm gonna dial that. See what
I'm
happens.
showing my age, but I remember
You
when
went out and checked the sundial. No.
Oh, ouch.
Simon,
That
ouch.
is it.
That was rude. You're timed out.
Take back every nice thing she ever said about you.
Just when she was in here steadily, now she's going to go in and out of the chat again.
Oh,
Sorry.
You were saying Knight Riders Gal.
oh my
But
God.
I don't know if you girls remember or not, but or anyone in chat, but I remember when it didn't always used to be numbers. It used to be letters in the beginning. It would
Oh,
I
in front of your phone number.
yeah,
Roman
it was
numerals?
it was UL 31212 for and UL I think stood for utilities.
Oh,
And you could because there was also a number that you can call for the weather report too, and it started with a UL.
wow.
See, Simon.
Okay. Right. Yes. Historical information about Californian timekeeping.
You're
fast
on
forward to this part of the show.
you're on my hit list now, Simon.
All right.
I want to know about party lines from way back when. I never
Oh
got
my God.
that.
You used to get that every once in a while because I used to talk on the phone a lot. And you would get people,
really?
like random people. Shut up, Simon. Back when I enjoyed talking on the phone. Anyway, you used to be talking on the phone to somebody, and all of a sudden you have some random third person coming in going, hello, hello. And you're like, what?
Wow, COBRAT, you're not that old.
I know.
And you remember that?
What do you mean remember? It used to happen to me. Of course
were
I
that
remember
third
that. No, and it's funny, I never was the third person, but yeah, every once in a while our lines would get crossed like that or something, and I'm like, really, get off this phone.
Well, sometimes it happens even with our cell phones. You know, you can hear somebody talking in the background, but I don't know if they can hear you. But I've had that happen before too.
Oh,
But-
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it doesn't happen here, apart from when you guys get together.
Well,
Oh my goodness!
Did you see what I typed to UFO Bob? I said, when we get together, there are no awkward silences.
Oh, no, there are.
No.
Oh, there's plenty of laughing.
Oh, yeah, you should do a podcast.
No.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
We don't want too many
Well.
secrets coming up.
Too late. No, I'm just kidding.
It was really great getting to know you, though, Sister Nancy, because, I mean, even though we've been together how many times, we've never really talked about what you did with your life. And I just love how you've traveled everywhere.
Oh, there. So I've done a service. I've drawn Nancy out of her show.
Yeah,
Yes, you have.
So that was very cool. Thank you.
Simon, don't hurt yourself patting yourself on the back.
Oh, look out. You're in trouble now,
All
Simon.
right. Oh, I'm in the firing line in the mod squad now.
Only with Knight Riders Gal.
At least with one of the mods you are. I have a long memory, brother.
We've got got her back too. So
Okay.
Right?
I better back out gracefully. And, well, it's been an amazing pleasure again. I think the audience would agree, and people watching. It's really been a lot of fun having you guys on the show again.
Did we fill an hour?
Fine.
an hour and 36 minutes.
We went
Did we fill an hour?
Yes, you could. I mean, I could just leave you to it, and I'd come back a couple of hours later, and it's
Bye,
still
Simon. No.
Going at it.
See, this is why you need to do your own show. You know.
No, that's never going to happen.
Okay.
But
Well, thanks, guys, for really, having having me on your show. And next week on the Mod Squad.
You're right.
Well, next week
We're
on
gonna go for another hour.
Probably.
next week on Simon
doubt.
No CHANoMA, it won't be quite like this. I have no idea what's going to happen next week.
Simon.
may go out-
I think you should have us on like maybe once every other month and just start it and leave. Come back a couple hours later. And we're good.
So, it only remains for me to be a moderator and say thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Mindy's mom. Thank you, KnightridersGal. Thank you, COBRAT. Thank you, audience, for joining us. And I hope you enjoyed the show. And see you all again next week. Say bye-bye,
Thank you,
Mod
Simon.
Squad.
Thank you.
bye.
Simon.
Thank you, guys.
Nice to know you, Simon. Thank you.
Thank you,
Everyone
Simon.
Michi, if you're still here, I'm sorry if I embarrassed you.
Not at all.
That was not embarrassing.
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.